Hey everyone, it's Karen King at Goldstar Pro, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how to set up a promo sequence that you can use to promote a program, an event, whatever the case may be. Now there's a couple of highlights with this, and that is the first, it's going to be linked to a start date and time. So for example, if you're running a webinar and it's happening on the first Monday of February, you can actually set that event start date and time, and you can send your emails based on the number of days before that event. We'll dive in a moment and I'll show you how that works. The other highlight of this sequence is going to be that when we send an email, the system is automatically going to track those emails and wait to see if they are opened. Now, if they're not opened, it will automatically resend that email 24 hours later. So let's dive in and have a look at what this looks like. Now, the first thing we need to do is tell the system when the event is taking place. So to do that, we're going to add an action. And the action is going to be set event start time. From there, we're going to choose specific date and time, and then you can put in whatever date or time makes sense for you. So for this example, we'll choose the first Monday in February, and let's say it's going to be at 8 p.m. So we'll click on save, and we've got that set up ready to go. So that acts as an anchor for everything else that we're going to do in this workflow moving forward. From there, we need to tell the system to wait until 7 days before. And we're going to do this because I want to be able to push people into this workflow, but I don't want them to start getting the emails until a week before the event. Now, you might like to do it 2 weeks ahead, 3 weeks ahead, whatever the case may be, but in this example, we'll set it up for 7 days ahead. So to do that, we're going to click on the plus. We're going to add another action. And again, it's going to be a wait step. Instead of a time delay, we're going to choose event appointment time. And we're going to tell the system to wait until before the event, and we're going to tell it to wait until 7 days before the event. We'll give it a name and click on save. So now when somebody comes into the workflow, they'll automatically be anchored with this start date and time, and then they'll come into here and they'll wait until 7 days before the event. Of course, when that takes place, when they reach that date, we want to send them an email. So we can set that up. I'll just put in a dummy subject and content for now, give it a name, and click on save. Now from here, this is where we start having a little bit of fun. And what we want to do is tell the system to look at this email and track whether it's been opened. So to do that, we're going to add another action, and it's going to be another wait step, but this time we're going to scroll all the way down and look for email event. We're going to tell the system to track email number 1, and we're going to tell it that we want to track whether it was opened. At the top, we're going to give it another name. And we're also going to organize a timeout. Now, the reason we do a timeout is because if somebody comes into this action and the system's tracking it and holding them here until they've opened the email, if they never open it, they're never going to progress in this workflow. So we're going to tell the system to time out after 1 day. We'll click on save, and what you'll see now is we've got a couple of different branches. If somebody comes down, they get the email and they open the email, they're going to come down the left branch, and we can set up actions to take place from there. If they don't open it, they're going to come down the right branch, and we can tell the system to resend the email that they didn't open. So let's go ahead now and continue the pathway for somebody that has opened it. And in this instance, we want to do another wait step. We want to make them wait until 5 days before the event. So wait until 5 days before, and we'll click on save. And then we can do email number 2. So to make it nice and easy, we can just click on copy action, move that down to here, and then we can give it a new name and pop in your content. Now, what do we do for the people that don't open it? So 1 day after they receive the email, they'll come down here. Well, really, really easy. We're going to tell the system to resend email number 1. So we're just going to copy the exact email. You can change it up a little bit if you want. You might like to change the subject line, give it a different subject line. Maybe split testing will help in this instance. And then we're going to click on save. Once that email has been resent, we want that person to continue in the workflow as normal. So to do that, we're going to add a go to action. So we'll click on save, and then the system is flashing in green. It's asking us to choose where we want that person to go to next. So keeping in mind that they got this email 7 days ahead of time, they've waited a day and got the next email 6 days ahead of time, it would make sense now that we wait until 5 days before and they'll join the workflow again. If we wanted to then repeat this process, we can go back up to the wait until opened action, click on the 3 dots, click on copy all actions from here, and click on the copy here button underneath email 2. All we would need to do then is change the trigger in the wait. So it's going to be email number 2. And then we'd want to make sure that we remove email 1 and copy email 2. And we would change the next wait until 3 days before. And to make sure the person that comes down this pathway goes back into the workflow correctly, we click on the little disconnect go to button and choose the new place that we want them to move to. So as you can see, this is a great way to push people into a promo sequence and track their opens and resend if they haven't opened the emails. If you've got any questions about this, don't hesitate to jump into the support community, ask our live chat team, or join a coaching call.